The background to the first reference in the Torah to the word Navi is an incident in which a local chieftain, Avimelech, brings Sarah, wife of Abraham, into his harem, presumably keeping her there against her will, and to which HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Avimelech in a dream vision and informs him that Hincha meit al ha'isha asher lakachta. On account of the fact that you have retained this woman, Sarah, in your harem against her wishes, you are liable for death. This comes on account of the fact that Sarah was a married woman. Avimelech protests his innocence, claiming that he was not aware of the fact that she was a married woman, and argues the famous words to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hagoy gam tzadik taharog. Would you kill a righteous, otherwise innocent individual? In a subsequent vision, God informs Avimelech that he is aware of the fact that there was no malice on the part of Avimelech, Anochi yadati ki betam levavecha sita zot, and therefore God instructs Avimelech, Hashev eshet ha'ish, you must now return the man's wife, in other words, allow her to leave your harem, ki navihu, because he, the husband, is a navi. V'yitpalel ba'adcha v'chaya. He, the husband, will pray on your behalf, and you'll be allowed to live. However, v'im ein chameshiv, if you do not allow the woman to return, the consequence would be mot tamut. There are some very obvious textual anomalies in Pasuk Zayin. These anomalies are addressed in a sicha to Parshat Vayera. Here we are primarily concerned with Rashi's interpretation to the statement ki navihu, to which Rashi comments, v'yadeya, he, Avraham, knows, is aware of the fact, shelo nagata ba, that you are not intimate with his wife. And with this, Rashi links the statement that Avraham is a Navi with the following clause, vayitpalel ba'adcha v'chaya, lefichach, Rashi writes, because he is a Navi, he knows, he is aware of the fact that you had not been intimate with his wife, therefore he will be willing to vayitpalel ba'adcha, to pray on your behalf. So what we ultimately see from this commentary is a definition of the term Navi as being a person who has an awareness of matters that are hidden. Obviously, Avraham was not in the harem at the time. He would certainly not be permitted to witness the intimate activities of Avimelech, and yet Rashi reads into the text that Avraham was aware of the fact that Sarah and Avimelech had not been intimate. This definition of a Navi can also be read into a statement in a commentary that he makes with respect to Leah upon the birth of her third child, Levi. To the words Hapa'am Yilaveh Ishi, Rashi writes, Sheha Imahot Neviot Hayu. The four Imahot, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, each had the power of Nevuah. As an aside, this is problematic in that it is in conflict with the Gemara in Megillah that lists the 7 Neviot, and of the Imahot only Sarah is listed. This is a question raised by the Siftei Chachamim, who makes a distinction between the degree of Nevuah referred to by Rashi in this situation to the level of Nevuah with which the Gemara in Megillah deals. The background to this assertion by Rashi with respect to Leah and the Imahot in general is that upon the birth of her third son, she named him Levi, and the reason that she gave for naming this child Levi is because Atapapam, now finally, Yilaveh Ishi Elai, Ishi, my husband, referring to Yaakov, will become attached to me. Give me the recognition that I crave for. Ki yaladati lo shlosha banim, because with the birth of this child I have now given birth to 3 sons. The name Levi obviously is connected to the Shoresh Lamed Vav Hey. The textual anomaly here that Rashi addresses is the link between the two statements, the birth of 3 sons and Leah's feeling that she can now demand the recognition as a full-fledged wife. To this, Rashi comments that each of the Imahot had the power of Nevuah, and with the case of Leah, he draws from the Medrash Tanchuma and writes, V'yodaot sheyud beit shvatim yotzim miYaakov. She knew that a total of 12 shvatim, 12 tribes, would come from Yaakov. V'dalad nashim yisa. She also knew that Yaakov would marry 4 wives. At this point in time, Bilhah and Zilpah had the status of servants to Rachel and Leah. She prophetically foretold that they would eventually become Yaakov's wives. 12 sons, 4 wives. With the birth of Levi, she had fulfilled her requirement to produce 3 of the sons, and therefore she made the statement that Yelave ishi Elai. Amra, she said, Mi'ata, from now onwards, ein lo pitchon pe alai. The fact that her marriage to Yaakov had questionable beginnings, Yaakov could no longer have a complaint against her to treat her as a second-class wife. Shaharina talti kol chelki bebanim. I have fulfilled my obligations with respect to producing my share of the 12 sons. So once again, we see the concept of a Navi, which is applied to Leah, encompasses the concept of someone who has an awareness of matters that have not as yet come out into the open. This will be the first of 2 criteria that Rashi has for the definition of a Navi.